Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday. It's me, Mr. Land. I'm down here in the bottom right corner, which is where I tend to hang out these days. I'm here with another video for you to kind of get you caught up on what's going on and to let you know what is coming up. And I hope you all are doing well. I know it's tough. We're handling it as best we can. And this week we will see the 1st of May. So we have approximately just a little bit less than a month ago before we take that modified AP exam, the one that's going to be online that you're going to do by hand and then upload. So let's get started with, oh, I almost said it. Let us begin with what it is that we need to get done for this week. Now, I promised I wouldn't say it anymore, but I can't help it. It's just too important. Do not go one day without interacting in some way or you get marked absent. You know this song. You even know what I'm going to say. So I'm not going to say any more. Bueller, come on, you guys. You got to do this. So by now, all of you have received some sort of comments on the GSD form that you did for me last week. And this is where online teaching, especially asynchronous teaching, is kind of challenging because I've had to squeeze my comments onto the little comment section on the gradebook. So I hope what you will do, if you haven't already, is put your cursor over the gradebook where it says, where you see the grade for the GSD form, and you should see some sort of comments that I've left you based on what you've written. Okay, and I will say that the biggest concern that I have, or the biggest thing I think is challenging people, is sort of differentiating between the devices and the strategy. Remember, the strategy is something that's a little more broad, and then the devices are the actual nuts and bolts. Remember, we talked about football. The strategy was going to be to win the game by shutting down the run game, and then all the devices had to do with the different plays that the team would do in order to avoid allowing the other team to run the ball. But maybe that didn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to attempt to kind of describe it again, but with something that may be more relatable for some of the rest of you, which is the Super Smash Brothers game. Okay, now, you know me, I know about as much about video games as I do about football. But I have it on good authority, and by good authority, I mean I went and interviewed my teenage daughter at length, and I did some online research from reliable sources, which I did not cite. Anyway, I want to take you kind of through the steps of how this sort of GSD idea can apply to winning or at least scoring high on Super Smash Brothers. So let's begin with an examination of the audience, or at least the rhetorical situation, which, as you know, includes the audience. Say you're getting ready to go up against an opponent who has better attack skills in Super Smash Brothers than you do. For some reason, they have perfected the run attacks, the tilt attacks, up and air attacks, the up special attacks, the smash attacks. See how I know these words? I looked them up. All right. I don't even know if I'm using them right, but I do know that they are different kinds of attacks. Well, say your opponent, and you know your opponent is good at these, is maybe, well, certainly better than you are at them. That is going to have everything to do with how you play the game and how you go after this opponent. Now, I did some color coding here, but this should look a little familiar to you. Okay, so the goal is going to be to win points by managing your opponent's attack game. Essentially, your goal is to counter his attack game effectively and score more points because that's how you win, right? Now, the strategies, and there's two of them, based on what I have learned in my exhaustive research, I think that there are a couple of strategies that could help you do this. One of them is to be really good at recovering. Now, from what I know about Super Smash Brothers, the goal is to knock your opponent off the stage and you earn points that way. Now, if you know that you're going to get attacked and hit, and there are going to be air attacks and tilt attacks and all those attacks, you're going to be spending a lot of time recovering. So you're going to want to be able to recover very quickly and effectively. So that's one strategy. The other thing is the rage attack. And in what I have learned, again, in my exhaustive research, is that if you get beat up enough, your character will begin raging. And this is something I believe that is coded into the game, and you can check me if I'm wrong. But once you begin raging, you have an opportunity to close the point gap with your opponent because your attacks will do more damage and they will be more powerful. So you want to utilize these rage attacks because you know you're going to get hit a lot, you're going to get damaged a lot. So you know that once you start raging, it's time to get good at attacking. And the other hope is maybe that the other person spends so much time attacking, if you let them attack you enough and you do nothing but recover, they may not be ready for you to attack when you do, especially when you start raging. So then if you go to the devices, that's where the spot dodge and the air dodge and recovery style come into play. Now those are devices, those are things. And it's important, for instance, in order to recover quickly, you have to know what your character does to recover. And there are many different ways to recover. Each character recovers a little differently. You need to be extremely familiar with how your character best recovers. So that is something that you need to spend time doing. Okay, and do you see how that understanding of your personal character recovery style will strategically help you recover quickly, which will help you manage the opponent's attack game. Do you see all of these things relate back to one another? Likewise, utilizing your rage attacks, you do need to be familiar with, for instance, the final smash. You need to know that you can't final smash until you're within arm's length, so you're going to have to be close enough. You're going to need to be ready to do that. And knowing how to do that and also having some skills with the smash attack will help you once your character starts raging. You can get some really good points, and this will be another way of managing their attack game. So I hope that that makes sense. Now, if you don't know anything about Super Smash Brothers, this may not make any sense, but I hope that this sounds similar to what I was saying about football. And really what I want to get across is the idea that the strategy is not the same as the devices. If you're writing the same thing in devices and in strategy, you have skipped one of them. And the strategy is going to be something more general, a broader method of attack, and then the devices, as you can see, I've highlighted them in their corresponding colors. The devices are chosen by you in order to fulfill the strategy, in order to accomplish the goal. So that's where we are. So that being said, let's move on to what it is you're going to be doing today. It's Monday. And actually what I'm going to be doing too. I'm going to be taking advantage of this time to start looking at the essay plans that you have made. And again, look for comments that are made on the gradebook in the place where you see the essay plan form. Look for my comments there. And that is I guess it's as much guidance as I can really give you, but it's going to have everything to do with where we go from here. So you should start seeing those appear tomorrow. And in the meantime, you are going to go onto the College Board site and, oh goodness, you can't quite see this. All right. You're going to take the 4.4 Monday Declare quiz, which you will see is already on there. This is another 4-question quiz that has one text. It's not 4 different texts again. It's going to be one text and 4 questions. This is more like the kind of quizzes we used to have at the beginning of class, back when we were in class, right? So do that, have a look at it. And I've also given you another video, a link to another video that came to me through the College Board site itself. That's part of AP Classroom. And it's another video from teacher Emily Valadis, AP teacher. It's another full-length video lesson. And it's a continuation of the analysis of Abigail Adams' letter. So if you watched the one from last week, remember it was optional, so if you didn't, that's okay. You will understand what's going on and you will be ready to just move forward with this. If you didn't, I recommend that you do. I recommend you carve out some time, a good 40 minutes, and watch it. And even if you don't do the activities, just listen to what she says and listen to how she talks about it and listen to the words she uses. You will recognize most of the stuff, and it will reinforce your idea of rhetorical situation. She just is going in a little more in depth now with word choice and how it reveals the audience. And again, the audience is everything in rhetorical analysis. Very, very important. Again, think of this as a tutoring opportunity, all right? This is a chance for you to hear something you're familiar with from another person who may say it in such a way that you might start thinking, you know, I think I'm starting to catch on. And I don't know about you, but when two people tell me the same thing, they may not say it the same way, but I start thinking, you know, there's something to this, and maybe this is worth really getting into. And a lot of you I know are doing your best. So I will link this video, or I have linked this video to the assignment. You'll see it listed. And I'm going to repost the Abigail Adams text to the course documents page, the same place that it was last week, except it'll be a 4.4 page. You'll see it on there. So that is pretty much where we are for Monday. You're going to be taking that quiz on College Board. You're going to spend some time watching the videos that I posted by Miss Velitis, and keep an eye out for the comments that I am going to be making on your essay plans. And I will get them out to you as quick as I can. So I hope you stay well. Keep washing your hands. Try to be nice to the folks around you. I know it's hard. I know it's you guys have been bottled up together for a long time. Do your best to be kind. And if you can't be kind, just do your best to not say maybe what you really want to say if it's not so nice. It's hard. It's hard to do, right? Get some exercise too. I find that's helping a lot too. I'm training actually for a 5K run, and it's going slow, but I am doing it, and it does make quarantine a little more manageable to get some good exercise. I go in the morning, early in the morning, so that I don't have to be out in the heat. And we'll stick together while we click together. I know you guys are feeling overloaded, like the guy with all the bags down here, but just keep doing your thing, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.